Let me transfer you guys back.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Take care of yourself.
You gotta pass the, all right?
You got to pass the bar
Likewise.
before you're allowed back on this show. All right, we're
Soon
live
enough,
too.
soon enough, soon enough.
The Maestro's son is on right now. Look at this.
Yeah, there you go.
Squeeze.
Yo,
Morning, brother.
For all immigration
Morning.
needs, you know.
Morning to young Pollack.
Are we live on 90.5 right now?
Today.
Are there thousands of people watching this right now?
Yep. And listen to us on the radio.
Shout out to all my father's fans. Big fan of Nelson Madrid, the maestro. Big fan of the case handler, and they're the best. That's it.
All right.
Be well, guys. Be well.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Oh boy. Live radio.
Never a dull moment on the show. Young Pollack in the building.
Hey, you never know. He may be on this show one day as an attorney. So, you know, that was like his debut, I guess.
Yes, it was. So how are you gentlemen doing? Welcome to Cruisin with a Case Handler, a show about personal injury and immigration, a show hosted by the case handler himself, Adam Handler, a show hosted also by Nelson Madrid and Conrad Pollack, missing somewhere, you know, he's somewhere around here. How was everything, man? How was the weekend?
Weekend's good. Weekend's good. Back to work today. We got a big case coming in. Very, very serious case. A home health attendant was in an ambulance with one of our clients. They got in a very bad accident, and she has very, very tragic and serious injuries to her face, lacerations, will require plastic surgery. So, you know, one case closes, another case opens, and that's what we do here. It's really a cycle, you know, getting through these situations. But, you know, like I always say, what a blessing. These people have thousands of choices to bring their serious case. And where are they coming, Squeeze? Where do you know, they're coming here. And that's probably no surprise.
Where else are they going to go?
Yeah.
They've got to go to the case handler. They got to go to PPID. That's where people should go. People know where to find excellent attorneys.
Tracy, look at the opportunity.
So they got to do that.
You're on mute, brother.
Sorry about that. Had to close
okay.
out the other Zoom session because Zenmar jumped in on our program here, but that's all right. All right. It's all about the family here. So we'll
give Zenmar and Austin their own show later on.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. But overall, let's have Conrad, can you you know, tell me how your weekend was without, you know, mentioning anyone, you know, that we don't want to be mentioned?
It's a very nice weekend. Weather was good. It's upstate. My son came home. He's been away for a few months, and it's a nice, relaxing weekend. And back to it. Back to it. We had a lot of calls this weekend from people tuning into the show. A lot of calls. If you haven't heard back from us, you will very shortly. We have the staff on it, making phone calls this morning to everybody that did call in this weekend, and there were a lot. I mean, my phone was lighting up for a while on Saturday and Sunday. So good stuff all around.
But
what's important is that not only should they get the consultation, Conrad, but I need for you and Nelson to actually, let them know how important it is to actually retain you guys at the firm rather than just saying, oh, it's a consultation and I'll just sit around and just wait or do it myself. It's extremely important that they actually hire you guys as attorneys after they get the consultation. That's extremely important. And also, if they do get into an accident, I know some of you may have called about your case or situation, do call back, the case handler. He will pick up.
Yep, absolutely. We're here for you. And you know what? I was actually just telling this story to my staff this morning. They asked me how my weekend was. And 9 o'clock last night, my washing machine has an error message saying that for whatever reason, the water isn't getting to the system, so it won't run a full cycle. It was a pain in the neck for like 45 minutes. I'm tinkering with it. Finally, I come out with a brilliant idea to check the water line in the back of the washing machine. And Stacy comes over and I'm like, all right, let's get ready. Hold this pot under the hose just in case some drips out. And I guess I didn't fully turn off the water. So I disconnect the hose. Water starts shooting everywhere. It's out of a movie. It's spraying her in the face. It's spraying me in the face. It's spraying the walls. Finally, I jump over, I turn off the valve. It's a disaster. It's a mess. And you know what I should have done, Squeeze? I should have called the appliance guy. I've never tried to fix a washing machine in my life. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I paid the price. Now, granted, the price was only getting wet and cleaning up a huge mess, but that is a perfect example of when you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? You may have a sense of what you're doing. I figured, how hard could this possibly be? But when you're not sure, when you've never done it before, the consequences in a legal case are not getting wet and cleaning up a floor. The consequences could be deportation, denial of your immigration status, the requirement to refile your documents, costing you even more money, or in a personal injury case, you know, getting less than you deserve for the medical bills, the time out of work, and your pain and suffering. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the message today isn't clear enough yet, and oh, by the way, and I also sliced my hand open with the pliers I was using to tighten the water. So I'm bleeding too, right? So again, a small example, a silly example, but it just goes to show you, when you don't know what you're doing, you're in trouble. Leave it to the experts. And after this show today, I'm going to be calling the local appliance guy to come fix it. Our phone number is 844-774-3529. Call that number if you don't know what you're doing. Call that number if you've never represented yourself in a deportation proceeding before, if you've never applied for citizenship before, if you've never applied for adjustment of status or petitioning for loved ones. If you've never done that before, and most likely the answer is yes, you've never done that before, you have to call 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law. PPID stands for Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We are a full-service law firm here in Manhattan. I handle personal injury cases. Conrad and Nelson handle the immigration cases. The phone call is free. The answers are free. The solutions are free, but you gotta give us a call. PPID. Squeeze, you down with PPID?
Come on, you know me. There goes Nelson with that smile. It's like, I've been waiting for that. That's what I've been waiting for. Get the show started right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cruisin with a Case Handler. We're going to be taking your immigration questions. And also, if you need to speak with the case handler himself on any kind of accident that you may have, okay, you need to reach out to him to find out if there's some recourse. So make sure you call 844-774-3529. He noted that number, 844-774-3529. It's a beautiful Monday. It's October the 5th. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have the number of an excellent law firm, and that's PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. 844-774-3529. Nelson, Madrid, bring us up to speed, man. You're not saying much. What's happening in your neck of the woods, meaning your office?
You know, just working. Very, very busy. As you know, Conrad has said in the past, the city seems to be reopening. A lot more traffic, a lot more people. You know, things are coming together, I guess. But you know, hanging in there.
Hanging in there. All right.
It's okay. Monday morning, waiting for the coffee to kick in.
Okay. And by the way, the fees are not going up where the filings are concerned with immigration, right? Not
yet. They will eventually, but not yet. The lawsuit, as we've been saying, immigration fees were due to rise substantially this past Friday, October 2nd, but there was a lawsuit brought by several large groups, including the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and a district court judge basically said to immigration, you have other ways to fund yourself, use them, and the fees have been set aside for now, the increased fees, but that doesn't mean it's over. The increase is still coming. We just don't know when. It'll happen soon. Look, whether it'll happen before the election or not, who knows? My guess is, though, if it doesn't happen before November 3rd and our favorite president is not reelected, then maybe they might be shelved. Who knows? But I wouldn't sit on the sideline nonetheless. If you have a case that needs to be filed, if you've been delaying, if you've been waiting for whatever reason, personal or otherwise, not a good idea. Get your case in, file your case, call us if you have questions. Let us help you. Remember, if you filed a case on your own and for some reason it's deficient, missing documentation, forms are not completed properly, if the case gets returned and filing fees go up in the interim, you're gonna have to pay the higher fees. And that happens every time fees go up, every single time.
You know, and just to add,
don't-
or if you filed your case and your case is pending outside of the normal standard processing time, your case, you know, you file for citizenship and it's pending 2 or 3 years, and your existing lawyer has no solutions, give us a call. 844-774-3529.
You know, in a situation like that, we've talked about a possible solution. It's called writ of mandamus. You know, immigration is supposed to do their job. Sometimes it takes a year, 2 years, even more to get a result. It shouldn't take more than several months. It is possible to sue the federal government in a situation like that. What we do is we go to a federal judge in district court and we say, look, Your Honor, immigration was supposed to give us this decision 6 months ago, and they haven't. We've tried everything we can, everything we could do to try to force them to render a decision, and they just ignore us. They haven't rendered a decision. We can sue. We bring a writ of mandamus, and typically within a very short period of time, the judge basically gets on the horn, gets a hold of the Immigration General Counsel, and says, hey, you know, what's the deal here? We need a decision. Writ of mandamus is always an option in a case like that where you've been waiting a long time with no good reason. Look, there are reasons sometimes that cases take a long time. Maybe it's not the strongest case in the world. Maybe the file's lost. Maybe there are things missing that you weren't aware of. I mean, there are all kinds of reasons for delays. But in those situations where there is no reason, or there seems to be no logical explanation for the situation, we sue. We do it. In fact, we do it more over the last three years and 9 months. We've done it a lot more than we ever have in the past 35 years. It's an option that people sometimes aren't aware of, but should be.
Absolutely. Once again, that's the voice of the maestro, and also Nelson Madrid speaking on, you call it the mandamus action?
Mandamus.
Yes.
That's the Mavericks thing. The Maverick loves suing immigration in court. He likes taking them to court.
Yeah. The number once again is 844-774-3529. And before we jump over to switch it from immigration to personal injury for Adam Andler to give us a true success story, can you both actually tell me what are things that you as a law firm can still do in reference to filing where immigration is concerned? A lot of people may be just sitting on their tuchus, okay, and not doing anything and saying, well, there's nothing that can be done. But I think we need to enlighten the people that are listening out there on 93.5 FM and also right here on Facebook as they share the page. What can we do?
Everything. You could still file for adjustment of status. You could still do a VAWA, which is Violence Against Women Act. You could still do a U visa, which is when you are the victim of a crime. We still represent people in removal proceedings. We do family-based adjustments. We do consular processing. You know, even though these consulates are shut down abroad, it doesn't mean you can't start a case. Even if you start a case, it's going to take some time. Use that time wisely. You know, something I tell people, you know, things are not going to get any easier. You know, on the contrary, you know, I have someone who was ready to file for citizenship. All of a sudden, they decided to hold off because of the election. You know, again, you're talking about paying $725 in a filing fee as opposed to $1,455 if you continue to wait and risk the fees going up. You know, as you've seen, David, this is a soap opera. You know, fees are going up 1 week, there's a federal lawsuit another week, then, you know, there's an injunction, then there's, you know, this is an ongoing theme here. And I think, again, it's imperative people use their time wisely, not sit back, you know, and I'm not sure what they're waiting for, but, you know, get the ball rolling, get moving.
Got you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and also immigration. Every one of you out there that need to get your immigration questions answered, now is the time to call. As a matter of fact, if you call before 10 a.m., you will get those questions answered over the phone, absolutely free. So give a ring right now. Yes, it's true. A free phone consultation Give a ring right now to 844-774-3529. That is the number for the law firm. 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPIDLAW. Every single human being out there that need a question answered where U.S. immigration is concerned, we can make that happen over the phone for you today. But you've got to call before 10 a.m. 844-774-3529. Let's flip it over to the man who I refer to as the shark sometimes. However, he likes to be called the case handler. That's what it is. That's what he is, the case handler, the man who has settled well over $126 million for his clients over the past 15 years plus. And of course, here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Adam Handler, the money man.
I feel like there should be like trumpets playing. That what an introduction is that? Thank you so much. Listen, we are well into this year. About a month and a half, about 2 months left of the year, and we've done some amazing things. We're nearly at $20 million recovered for case handler clients, and that's just a huge deal. Listen, that number would be an amazing achievement in normal circumstances, when the courts are open, when trials are occurring, when people are in court negotiating. But the fact that we're doing it all pretty much remotely, in the same format that we're doing this right now, is a true testament to the dedication of our practice, of Pollack, Isaac DeSico, of the personal injury department, of myself, Matthew Goodsey, my associate, my wonderful paralegals, Sandra and Roland and Ralston and Sandy. Everybody is just giving 110%. They always do. But, when you're doing it and also fearing for your own health and safety, every day coming to work, just shows the dedication that we have for our clients, shows that we are ready to fight, and we really appreciate that one and only shot that our clients have. There are no redos in the personal injury world, and that's why we say, one chance to get it right, one chance, one choice, and that should be your case handler team. There's many law firms out there right now that have cases that are still either working remotely or their offices are shut down, and their clients are not being served. Those cases are not moving. And if those cases are not moving, that means that people's medical bills are piling up, people's time out of work is still going unpaid. I've heard clients calling saying they're being evicted from their apartments, or they're facing eviction proceedings, or they're in major credit card debt because their accident cases are dragging on too long and they don't know where to turn. And we've taken these phone calls, and I say, listen, we're happy to help, we're happy to take over, but why didn't you come to us initially? I always like asking that question, just to make sure that, this is a right fit for us. Because if somebody calls us when an accident first happens, we're always taking a chance. As long as we can prove that the accident happened, as long as we can prove your injuries, we'll take a chance. No case too big, certainly no case too small. But when you've had another attorney for 6 months to a year, I am a little suspicious as to why you want to switch. And a lot of these people say to me, well, these people came up to me at the scene of the accident, or a nurse at the hospital gave me a business card, or my friend said, I went with them and I can get you $500 if you go to this therapy office. It's a scam, ladies and gentlemen. It never works out. Yeah, you may get a few bucks, but if your case is worth more than a few bucks, then you have been the victim twice. And our clients here at Pollack, Isaac DeSico are the farthest thing from that. When you're a victim once, you need help. You need somebody to right the ship, fight for you, get you that financial justice that you deserve, get you that maximum compensation for all those things we talked about, the bills, the wages, and your pain and suffering. And that's exactly what we do. And Squeeze, if you would allow me maybe to share a quick story.
Yep.
This was a case that we settled right before the pandemic. Her name is Michelle, $100,000. And $100,000 was the maximum amount. We didn't settle for $97,500 or $90,000 or $80,000 or $50,000, as the insurance company was always proposing. We got the maximum amount because Michelle had one chance to get it right, and she was counting on us to get the maximum compensation. That's exactly what we did. And Squeeze, if you would read that quote, that would make my morning.
Absolutely. Adam made me feel confident and secure. I recommend Adam Handler and the case handler team 10,000%. Once you retain them, you will feel comfortable and at home, just like family. It will tell you what is in your best interest, no matter what the outcome is. Michelle from BK, Brooklyn, New York, $100,000 settlement. Way to go, case handler.
Thank you, brother. And for those people listening on 93.5 FM right now, if you can safely do so now or do it later, check out Case Handler on Facebook. Check out Case Handler on Instagram. You'll be connected to all these true life success stories. I always say, don't take my word for it. Don't take Squeeze's word for it. Don't take the other DJs on this radio station that have endorsed me, for over 15 years. Don't take their word for it. Take the words of the people that have come before you, people that woke up in the morning, never expecting that they would get into an accident, having a terrible situation unfold, and then making the smart decision and hiring our law firm to back them up. I mean, you can see this picture right here. The car is all smashed in. Michelle never thought in a million years that she'd have to call our number. And I truly hope, and I sincerely mean this, right? I hope you never have to dial 844-774-3529. I hope you never have to do it, because if you have to dial 844-774-3529, then things have gone terribly wrong for you and your family. We're here to help, but we'd rather you just call us for good things, closing on a house or applying for your citizenship. But that's not real life. That's not reality. And you could be in a situation where, you've been hurt, that you're really suffering, but at the end, hopefully you'll be smiling, just like Michelle is here with that big $100,000 check. And Squeeze, while I'm at it, just that quote, it reminds me, how many times have you read a quote on this show in which a client uses the word family? How many times?
Countless times. I can't tell you how many times, but it's countless. And that's one thing that's always prevalent. One thing that's all, because you genuinely do treat them like family. That's what PPID is all about. That's what you're all about. That's the reason why people keep referring cases to you. People trust you, Adam, because they believe in you. You treat them like family, and that's needed when you're selecting a personal injury attorney. You're not treating people just like a number. You're not like some attorney at the top of the hour, just saying, oh, let me take your case and give you a couple bucks here and there. There is due diligence when you, Adam Handler, at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, you, Adam Handler, the case handler, take on a case for someone who gets hurt in an accident. So that's the reason why your clients are always saying that you do treat them like family. So ladies and gentlemen, dial the number, store it in your phone. When you need it, use it. You need the number of an excellent personal injury attorney, you call Adam Handler, the case handler, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Give them a ring right now, 844-774-3529. Thank you so much, Adam, for that true success story. All right, let's flip it over to the Gunners. Okay, I'm calling them Gunners today because we got quite a few questions for them on immigration. So let's see how they can jump into it in answering this question on immigration. My son is a U.S. citizen working in the military, turned 21 and would like to petition me and my wife, stepmom. He has two half brothers, both minor, 15 and 2 years old. What is the best path for us?
Well, if he's 21, he can apply for his parents. That's not a problem. Especially his dad, I think he said, is his natural dad, so there's no problem there. Assuming that he married his mother, should be a pretty straightforward case. If his dad and his mom were not married, makes it a little more problematic. Something that he would need to talk to us about. As far as the stepmother goes, in order for a U.S. citizen stepchild to apply for a step parent, the marriage between his natural parent and the step parent had to take place before his 18th birthday. He hasn't mentioned when his parents got married, so I don't know if he can help his stepmother. If they're married recently, no good. They had to be married before he turned 18. As far as his siblings, he can apply as a U.S. citizen. He can apply for his siblings. Case will take 10 to 15 years.
Well, can I just add something to that? if
go ahead.
he can't petition for his stepmother, once the father legalizes his status, the father could then petition for the stepmother. And again, this is an example of why you should have an attorney involved to help you guide or to guide you through this process. So there is a way for both parents to eventually legalize their status.
Okay, beautiful. And that's the reason why you have to consider the depth of this verb, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, that's PPID 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let's get to another question here on Cruisin with a Case Handler, the show on personal injury and immigration. This one says here, hope all is well. My question is for CR1 visa. I am a beneficiary from Pakistan and I'm a small farmer. Please guide me how I can avoid public charge rule. Call PPID.
Well, CR1, he's not using the proper terminology. CR1 is not a visa. CR1 means that he's married to a U.S. citizen and he's applying for a green card based on the marriage. CR being conditional resident, meaning they've been married for less than 2 years. His wife's applying for him to get him his green card. Public charge, it's a good question. If he's not working, it's an issue. If he's a farmer, he's not making a lot of money, it's an issue. More important, his wife who's applying for him needs to be working. We need to see what her income looks like. The public charge rule is a lot more complicated than it used to be. Take a look at the public charge application form, I-944. It's about 20 pages long. It's not really something we can go into on the radio here. I suggest you give us a call. Let us help you.
Okay. Quickly, can we just reiterate what the public charge is? Nelson?
Sure. The public charge, basically there's a new form that was created. Public charges always existed, but there's a new form that was created. It's 19 pages long. It's called the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. And basically it's an application that has to be completed with any application for adjustment of status. It's not only an application, you have to be able to provide supporting documentation with that application. They basically go into your entire income as well as expense history. If you've ever received public benefits, for how long, if you've ever received public housing, they ask for credit reports, they ask for bank statements, they ask for credit card statements, they ask for your highest level of education. And the purpose behind all of this is to determine whether or not you are likely to become a public charge in the future. That is, if you are able to legalize your status and become a permanent resident, is there a high possibility or high likelihood that you would then eventually turn to the government and seek public benefits? And again, this is new and went into effect, I believe, in February of this year, March of this year. I don't remember exactly. Again, this is another instance where there's a lawsuit that's pending, but it's something that will eventually be required of most applications.
Actually, it is. There was a lawsuit. There have been various lawsuits, but the latest is that the public charge rule is effective. This new public charge rule is effective, and after October 13th, you must submit that I-944 application with your application for adjustment of status. If you don't, it'll be denied.
Gotcha. And the number, ladies and gentlemen, is 844-774-3529. Call the law firm. Call Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico. Call PPID, 844-774-3529. Call him on personal injury. Call him on immigration. The consultation is always free. 844-774-3529.
Now, along these lines, things we've been talking about, the public charge rule, it's a way for this administration to reduce the number of immigrants coming to this country. As Nelson said, the public charge rule has existed since there's been immigration laws. It's just now, in this past year, this administration just tripled down on its severity. And it's one more way for the administration to stop immigrants from coming to this country. It specifically targets people that don't have a lot of money, that might have taken out loans, that might have used public assistance. In the old days, Ellis Island, people came here, yeah, I know they came. The story is they came the right way. It's different. The fact is, a lot of these people also struggled in the beginning. That's been the American way. They struggle, they find their way, they climb to the top, or on their way to the top, and they become American citizens eventually. The family eventually learns to speak English and so on. This is the American way. This administration is trying to put a stop to that, and this is one severe method that they're using to do that. This I-944 application, again, don't take my word for it. Google it. Take a look at the application of self-sufficiency, designation of self-sufficiency. It's 19 pages long. They require a multitude of documents to submit with the application, and most people are going to struggle with it. Lawyers are struggling with it. It's just par for the course in terms of what this administration is trying to do. And as an example of what I'm talking about, I was just reading over the weekend, there was a 95% drop from this year to the year before in terms of immigrants coming to that have been admitted to the United States. 95% drop.
Got you. Once again, the voice of Conrad Pollack, a managing partner at the firm. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you're into Cruising with a Case Handler. Here's another question. This one says, are we supposed to apply Form I-130 separately or together for each parent? And who should be the main beneficiary? Also, where on the Form I-130 should a derivative beneficiary be included? Because I don't see anything as derivative beneficiary. And before you all answer that, once again, ladies and gentlemen, take the complexity out of filing and have the attorneys do it for you. All right. It's not your field. It's not your area. Have them do it.
Don't slice your hand open and shoot water all over your laundry room.
Like Adam did. All right.
Here's the perfect example. First of all, I'll give them a freebie here. Every I-130 has one beneficiary. All right. So if you're applying for your parents, you need to submit 2 I-130s. Okay. But do you want the fate and the future of your parents resting on some anonymous guy on Facebook telling you what you just heard? Is that how insignificant that it is that your parents come to the United States, that you're willing to take the advice of somebody over the internet, over a 30-second span, telling you how to do it? Really? Come on, folks, use your head. Give us a call, do this the right way. Yeah, it's going to cost you money if you hire us. But if you don't and you screw it up, it's going to cost you more money.
This is about status in the United States of America. What priority do you believe it needs to be at? Yes, Nelson.
Well, again, and I know I said this before, in Spanish, there's a saying, cheap is very expensive. You can go ahead, you could start the process. Again, there will be a paper trail. And, eventually to have a lawyer, untangle what it is you started or figure out, now you're going to probably spend a lot more money. So save yourself some money, save yourself some time, hire someone, and have them help you with the process. Again, these are forms we see every day. As Adam said, I'm not on my roof trying to put up a roof, right? Because I'm not a roofer. Can I try? Absolutely. But I could also risk falling. I could risk a leak. I could risk so many things from happening, and, as Mr. Pollack says, immigration is a minefield, now, and I hate to say this, but the reality of it is if everyone actually was proactive and did things correctly, I'd probably be unemployed, So, go ahead, try to do it on your own. When you hit a roadblock or you hit a problem or, the visa's denied on multiple occasions, it's not going to cost the same, again, to try to untangle what it was that you created.
Gotcha.
And again, immigration is a minefield. It always has been. But now, where maybe there was 1 or 2 mines per every square mile, now there's 50. This administration, they have made it. In fact, it's probably one of the few things that this administration has done efficiently, that they've accomplished efficiently, making it more difficult for immigrants to immigrate, making it more difficult for immigrants to survive in the United States. This is one of the few things, unfortunately, and I say this with sincere sadness, this is one of the few things that this administration has efficiently accomplished. They have just made life so difficult for immigrants intentionally. They continue to do so. And the application process has become fraught with minds and trap doors and just waiting for problems to spring up on you. You know, it's never been a good idea, in my opinion, to do things on your own, although it certainly was easier back in the day, pre-2016. Those days are over. Come on, you talk to your friends, you talk to your neighbors, you talk to your family. Yeah, I did it myself. That was a common refrain back in the day. Not so much anymore. Talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors now, right? And see how often they'll tell you, oh yeah, it was easy. It's not happening, right? Yeah, there are rare exceptions where somebody got through without using a lawyer and, you know, they got through. But more often than not, these days, these are people having problems. And again, I understand times are tough. You know, a lot of people are unemployed. A lot of people don't have the funds. But, you know, again, you have to decide what's important. This gentleman or woman who is applying for parents, you know, I mean, you want to take the advice of somebody that you don't know, that just spouted on over a 30-second span about how to do it, and you're just going to put the application, spend $535 per petition. That's almost $1,100 for 2 petitions. Risk getting it denied, and then when you refile, the application fees are going to be double. I mean, really, does that make sense?
Oh. Once again, and I like what Adam just put up. If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait until you hire an amateur.
You know, David, Conrad, something we've seen as well, and I think it's important to mention, is people who have gone to the travel agent up the block or on an avenue, and they've filed these fraudulent documents, right? And, you know, they lied and said the person entered on a visa, the person was married to a citizen, and they got a work permit. And, you know, again, there is a paper trail, you know, and simply saying, oh, well, I didn't prepare the forms, a travel agent did. You know, immigration's response to that is typically, but you signed the forms. How do you sign forms you're unfamiliar with? So you're not totally off the hook. Your hands are not totally clean thereafter. You know, again, it does create problems for people, you know, and the travel agent up the block, you know, we had a client, and I may have said this before. We helped the gentleman naturalize, right? We help him get a green card, eventually moves on to become a citizen, but he felt we were too expensive. So the gentleman that he is, he took his wife to a travel agent, right? To file for adjustment of status. This woman ended up in deportation proceedings. Husband goes back to the travel agent and says, what did you do? My wife is in removal proceedings, deportation proceedings. They want to deport her. The travel agent's response was, I'm not a lawyer. You knew I wasn't a lawyer. If you wanted a lawyer, you should have gone to a lawyer from the very beginning. So now something that would have cost a couple of $1,000s cost many thousands of dollars, because we had to basically represent this woman in immigration court before an immigration judge and convince that judge that this woman belonged in the United States with her family. And again, that's an example. That's a common theme.
Another one that is very common, and you know, I will say this, and I'm quite sure I'm going to get some kind of criticism about it, is that a lot of people go to their pastor. You know, my pastor, and you know, go see their pastor the Saturday morning to file the forms. I have seen it in the Bronx, you know, a community that I grew up in. The pastor doesn't know anything about immigration. All right. And not because he's a pastor or he's a man of faith, a man of God, mean you should go to your pastor to have your pastor file your immigration case. No, you should not. That's not his job. His job is to, of course, preach to you, not fill out forms, not handle your case, because the same thing is going to handle, as Nelson and Conrad said. So call PPID at 844-774-3529. Don't trust your pastor with that.
I have actually one other quick example.
Buddy Road, or the lady up on Eastern Parkway, and the guy, you know, over at Empire Boulevard. You don't want those people doing his stuff. Use the firm. Yes, go ahead, Nelson.
You know, and Conrad, we've seen this many times as well, where we represent someone in removal proceedings. We win. And eventually the person goes to a not-for-profit. And again, I think there are fantastic not-for-profits. I think there are, you know, I think a lot of people are trying to do a lot of good things. But unfortunately, they don't necessarily know the entire picture. They don't know the background. They don't know what happened.
It's not their profession.
So this person files for citizenship, goes on their own to their citizenship appointment, and ultimately their citizenship is denied. And now they come back to us to appeal because basically the immigration officer told them you were in removal proceedings, you're not eligible for citizenship, which is not correct. But again, if you go by yourself, it's the blind leading the blind.
There you go. I got one more question here, gentlemen. Okay, I want to ask something. My husband and I want to ask something. Me, my husband, I'm reading it verbatim, and my son came to USA in March with immigrant visa. We had to come in this date because it was a temporary visa. It was assumed we would receive our green cards after our entry with max 120 days, but we did not receive. Adding to that, we need to travel outside the USA so we can travel before getting the green card. It's a little bit convoluted, but hopefully you guys understand.
Immigration has been very slow on producing green cards. I mean, that's been a fact, you know, that's been all over the news in the immigration field for this past several months. The fact that they haven't received a card yet, they entered in March and haven't received their card, that's unusual. There's an application they can file, but that application itself will take months. If they can demonstrate a good reason as to why they need to travel, it's possible to go into immigration and get a temporary stamp, which will allow them to travel and come back. Give us a call. We'll tell you how it works.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to conclude the show right now. Want to say thanks to the case handler, the $126 million man. Every single one of you, if you ever get hurt in an accident, that's the man you should call. No one else. All right.
And don't call me if you need your washing machine fixed.
Yes, definitely not. 844-774-3529. Spread the word. Share that number with every single person you know that's in the tri-state area. 844-774-3529. If you need real, excellent, professional help in the capacity of immigration, there's only one firm you should call. You should call the firm that has the Nelson Madrid, aka the Maverick, the Conrad Pollack, the managing partner, aka the Maestro. And you can reach them at 844-774-3529. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome. And yes, this is an attorney advertisement, but we're all about you. And of course, they will treat you like family. Call them today for a free consultation. 844-774-3529. Make that a phone consultation. 844-774-3529. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll catch up with you same time, 93.5 Facebook. Have an amazing day.